published several videos with similar content, including terrorists ambushing IDF forces, emerging from tunnel shafts, blending into the densely fields, and operating fire at the forces in the area. The IDF decided to respond with an original solution, clearing and exposing all the agricultural areas adjacent to the border fence in order to cleanse the space and deny cover to the Hamas terrorists. The method of the operation, which began in recent days, looks as follows: burning the agricultural areas in the north of the Gaza Strip and locating tunnel shafts, explosives, and even terrorists in the exposed area. This is a large area of thousands of dunams, thousands of acres, and the goal is to scan the area and, amongst the other means, using surveillance drones in order to detect any suspicious activity. And during the activity, several tunnel shafts have already been located. In one of them, various weapons and intelligence materials were found. An IDF source said that the aim of the action, amongst other things, is to ensure the security of the envelope residents, the Israeli communities around the Gaza Strip, by clearing the areas that are hidden along the border. The operation opened after several tough encounters in the last week in the Gaza Strip, and in the first month of the Operation Oz Vacherev, strength and sword, which began after the collapse of the ceasefire and Hamas's refusal of the outline presented by Israel. No significant encounters and face-to-face battles between the forces and the terrorists were recorded. But in recent days, several encounters have occurred that resulted in casualties amongst the IDF troops. So, on that note, an Israeli source familiar with the negotiations said on Tuesday morning that the dispute between Israel and Hamas over the terms of ending the war is precisely about the disarming of Hamas as a military power in the Gaza Strip. Israel demands that Hamas's military wing cease to exist completely. And another political source claimed that contrary to foreign media reports of a breakthrough, which in his view are not accurate, none has been achieved so far. The sources clarify that the talks are discussing a new Egyptian proposal that includes a 6-month pause in the Gaza Strip in exchange for the release of half of the living hostages held by Hamas and the opening of the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip. The sources emphasized that the new Egyptian proposal came after Israel rejected the previous proposal to which Hamas has agreed to, which included a 5-year ceasefire and sought a temporary pause or partial deal to release all the hostages and to stop this war. And meanwhile, according to sources from the Saudi-owned El Arabiya news portal, an initial agreement has been reached for the release of the hostages during the month of May. According to the report, the agreement also includes the establishment of 3 safe corridors that will allow humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip under the supervision of the mediators. The Saudi channel source said that meetings between Egyptian officials, Hamas representatives, and Israeli officials are expected to continue in the coming days, and up to the publication of the report, no official response has been received from Israel or from Hamas regarding these reports. So, conversely, Israeli sources said on Tuesday that no new proposal has been received. This tool has been used to great effectiveness in this war, and it has also been used in Lebanon to clear Hezbollah minefields and other battlefield hazards. Tense activity in the various sectors they are now focusing in Gaza. So, the forces have fired more than 5,000 shells at terror targets in the Morag corridor, which bisects the southern part of Gaza between Rafah and Khan Yunis, 2 Palestinian cities, while giving close support to the maneuvering forces. Since the start of the war, the IDF has also been using other tools to reduce the risk to the soldiers and increase the effectiveness of the operations. One such tool is old, worn-out APCs that are filled with explosives and driven into an area by use of a remote control guidance system. When it is in position, the explosives are detonating, clearing the area of mines, improvised explosive devices, and other hazardous, so the ground forces can enter safely. Several terrorists from Hamas and the Popular Front of the Liberation Palestinian General Command were eliminated by the IDF fire this week. So to start with, it was announced over the last 24 hours that on Thursday, the 24th of April, IDF forces eliminated Ali Nidal Hasni Sarafti, a key operative in the Palestinian terrorist organization, during sweeps in the Gaza city. And elsewhere, Said Amid Said Abu Hasnin, a Nukhba force terrorist in the Dir el-Balach battalion of Hamas, who raided and commanded the raid on the Kibbutz Kisufim on October 7, 2023, was also terminated. Also, Mustafa Youssef el-Baded Matuk, formerly the operations chief of the Jabalia battalion of Hamas, who led terrorist schemes against the IDF forces in the Gaza Strip. So guys, here at TBN Israel, we will continue to report on every development from the fighting in the Gaza Strip